Hey, what's up, YouTube? Red and Bordy here, back with the New World Lore episode. We're going to finish up Grenville's journey. We did part 1 last week. If you haven't watched that, go watch that before you watch this, because it is a continuation of a pretty cool, ancient, detailed story. Yeah, go check that out. Should be in the playlist of the New World Lore series. And Bordy, let's hop right in here with the first lore page.
Yeah, so the first one we're going to go over tonight is April Dig Ledger. So it says, Grenville's like a horse with blinders, but an honest man and fair with men. Perhaps too fair at times. I don't know what he plans once we unearth this stubborn boulder, but the work is safer than spilling more blood for a drop of Azoth. His man Rolf is a sharp but worrisome fellow. His brow seems to gain another furrow with each passing day. His eyes are always to the woods, and he jumps at every shadow and crack of a branch. Each day he presses Grenville for when we might move on. It's not robbers he fears, that much is certain. Timber and stone we have in plenty. It's game we need, and we'll need to see some coin from Grenville soon, or else the men's work will slow. Signed, Maddie. So it sounds like things are starting to get a little bit crazier here, Red. It seems like Rolf, dude, his head's on a swivel. He's worried about, I think, the corruption coming out from the woods and getting them, bro, and as he should be. I think that's a valid concern.
Yes, we've seen a lot of these lore episodes that people die a few times, Bordy, and it sounds like this crew is about ready to taste that for sure, because the corrupted are coming. So here's the next page here. April 19th. I write this far from the excavation, yet I am alive and must recount what happened. Rolf and I were the only ones I know who managed to escape. It was near dusk. Rolf had sought me out. One of the guides had gone missing. Not deserted, of that Rolf was certain. It was something else. His instincts proved true, for as dusk bled out, we heard a distant cry in the woods, then silence. Then spotted shapes, hunched, moved amongst the trees. Rolf became afraid, but to the man's credit, it did not stay his actions, and he pushed me to move. Where there's one, there's at least 2 others you can't see. He hissed to me, and fighting my hesitation, I left the equipment behind. And it says, Cursed Isle. These infernal things seek to drive us from knowledge at every turn. So, here you go, dude. There it happened, like literally in the next page. The ancients have came and they mean business.
Yo, dude, Rolf tried to warn the men. Nobody wants to listen to Rolf. Everybody just wants to continue to figure out what's going on, and nobody wants to listen to him, bro.
Well, here's the thing, dude. Grenville is greedy with this knowledge. He's got
to know, man.
Yeah,
he's a little obsessed at this point.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. A little dangerous to his crew, and now they're dead. So.
Yep. All right, man. So the next one is called the Obelisks. So it says, whatever powers these obelisks hold, the ancients of Aeternum made use of them, or more likely shaped them themselves. Yeah, I think so. But to what purpose, I do not know. Life grows thickly about them, striking blue flowers unlike any I have seen on the isle, and even Azoth infused flora, which we gather carefully. Rolf seemed out of sorts, has been since the attack on the dig site. He was hunched to the ground at a stone's throw from the obelisk, staring at it as if listening to something, clutching the vial of Azoth I'd paid him with. I had to address him twice before the fellow snapped out of it, still at a loss for words. After addressing him rather sharply, perhaps sharper than was merited, Rolf said he felt the Azoth sing in the presence of the obelisk. Interesting. And did not know what to make of it. We shall continue our circuit of the ring of obelisks, then leave the central spire for last. Signed, Grenville. Yo, dude. So now they're trying to figure out, the Azoth seems to have a connection with the obelisks, and they don't know what it is. So here we go. Here's another journey, another mystery, and it just it continues to get deeper.
Yeah. No matter the other people that died because of the other mistakes. Let's continue to push forward. Here's the next lore page. May 20th. Rolf again voiced his fears that Azoth might awaken that which lies dormant on Aeternum. The man is a fool and has not the heart to continue. I reminded him of the great fields of life that blossomed around the obelisk. If that was their power while the obelisk slept, what life might rise should they wake, and how could that be not a good thing? Do we ourselves not awake each day and are better than when we went to sleep, not knowing but dreams? nothing but dreams. My gosh, this dude, his reasoning is a little bit flawed here. Even my reasoned arguments did not quell the man's doubt. He became quite animated, saying, I knew not what might wake at the center of the spire. Even the dead, the skeletons that encircled the cursed temple, might come alive if their hearts were tied to this land. I suspect our ways must soon part, though I know his promise of payment keeps him in my shadow for now. If needs must, I will send him away, but before he goes, I will need his Aethoth for what I plan next. I will unlock the mysteries here and cast such a light that it will burn away doubt and shadows from fearful minds. So here you go, Bordy. You know, he's on to something. We've kind of discovered this in the other lore pages. You know, the ancients seem to have some sort of technology or discovery of eternity. And now he's now that Grenville has kind of sensed that, he will stop at nothing to find out what it is.
Yeah, that's clear. I think Grenville is definitely obsessed and taking this to a whole other level, no doubt. So the next page is the spire. It says, I take no pride in what happened next, but do not take this as a writ of confession. Oh boy, here we go, dude.
Sounds like Walter White, dude.
So yeah, I think this is where things are going to probably get a little bit crazy. It says, Rolf refused me and I would not part with the Azoth he carried. I explained to him at length that I was certain of my discovery, but lacked the means to test it with the central obelisk. But with his cooperation, we might yet illuminate the secrets of the culture that had come before us. He grew agitated and said that he would leave me at dawn and head back to Renee's home and seek shelter with the Frenchwoman and take the Azoth with him. He spoke of a nameless dangers if I persisted in my efforts until I grew quite tired of it and told him I wished to hear no more. Oh boy, here we go, man. At this point, I ordered him to part with the Azoth one last time, and he shook his head. And before he could give a voice his refusal, I had sunk my knife into his throat. Oh boy, Grenville. Oh boy, dude. I knew it would not kill him, but I had no use for his body any longer. It was what he carried I needed. If he wanted to go, then so be it. His other belongings would remain should he brave the journey again. I took solely the Azoth, and I made a promise that should our paths cross, I'd repay him for its use. If Aeternum led him awake as it did for others, I have one attempt at this, and I shall do so at the central spire. He's lost it, man. He's lost it. Well, he knows that... Like, here's the thing. He stabs Rolf in the neck, right? And he says he knows it's not going to kill him. So obviously Rolf, it seems like he's going to wake back up like other people have whenever they die on Aeternum. And so, but what does he think's going to happen? What does Grenville think's going to happen whenever Rolf wakes up, man? Do you think he's just going to forget that he got stabbed in the neck so Grenville could steal his Azoth to go on this journey? Bro, what a sticky situation he has gotten himself in. And
if you can feel these things, I would assume, like, even though you're going to die and come back, you probably still feel that knife in your throat when you're being killed. So I bet Ralph's not too happy after this. So the next page says that the page is partially burned, but it is a note from Grenville. He says, seems Rolf spoke true. The Azoth takes on a light in proximity to the obelisk, but I can see a tracery of light where none existed before, and the sound, like a roar, the closer one comes to the stone, as if something's caged, waiting to be released. My path seems clear. If these markings are touched with Azoth, then perhaps the obelisk shall reveal its secrets, and we will see what lies within. And should my findings prove, and then the page is burnt again, illegibly. So, Bordy, something's happened to these documents, and I would bet Grenville as well. So why don't you read the final lore page in this series?
Yeah, man, it seems like Grenville has a theory about what his findings are going to prove, and then the page is burned illegible, so we don't get to know what that theory is, which kind of sucks. But the last page is called the Azure Flames, and it says the page is burned, but it looks like it was written on after it was burnt and not before. So it's kind of altered after the page was burned here. So it says, my hands shake as I write this. I was a fool. First the spire, the great light. The light grew above me like the dawn of a second day, and my heart leapt with hope. And again, when I saw the torches along the main road blossom into blue flame, it was as if I'd awoken the isle itself. Then Then a terrible silence from the spire as the light streaming from it froze in the air as if paralyzed by touching the earth. I confess I was consumed by a growing dread and I fled along the road, the blue flames leading my steps as it turned out here to the temple ruins from before. The temple was no sanctuary. Had the Azure Flames summoned me here? Whatever occurred at the spire, it had touched here as well, awakening something terrible. I saw the same blue fire that lit the lanterns of the road now burn within the chest of the skeletal figures I had taken for dead. They were not dead. I see now merely sleeping. Now they walked, blades drawn, circling the temple with dark intent. What have I awoken? May the powers of Aeternum have mercy upon my soul. Yo, dude. So it seems like he's woken some ancient guardians here, Red. He should have listened to Rolf, bro. He should have just listened, man. He is went and messed with the freaking ancient guardians, and now look what he's gotten himself into, dude.
Well, and you know, it's interesting. This is almost written as if Grenville's to blame for the ancients being awake on Aeternum.
Yep.
Because it seems like he's stirred up whatever's in the shattered obelisk, and you know, there's two expeditions, Bordy, centered around the shattered obelisk itself. So maybe we'll learn more about Grenville's findings and the potential secrets of the ancients as we run through these expeditions. But this has been a great lore series, Bordy. A very fun story to cover because I think it does kind of give a glimpse into maybe what happened before the players arrived at Aeternum with the ancients and the explorers.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Definitely is kind of an enlightening tale to see, because we do wonder, like, how did the ancient guardians get there? And this, I think, kind of hints at that a little bit.
Yes, for sure. And that glowing fire within them. Again, I think the glowing fire is more the ancients than the skeletons themselves. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of that as well. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for watching these lore videos. We really enjoy them. And we appreciate your guys' support as we make them. Obviously, we have a lot of big plans for them in the future, so we're just excited to continue on the series. Let us know in the comments below what you're most interested about in the lore, and maybe we can cover it on a future episode. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscription button, the notification bell for more New World content like this, and a special thank you to our Patreons. You'll see your name after the video. So thanks again, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.